that cyber thieves are gaining ground on stealing identities and credit card information. As such, there is a strong need to try and keep your private information secure. This includes keeping bank account and credit card numbers and transactions safe, using good web browsing habits, and avoiding phishing scams that come via email and now text messages. The first thing we recommend is to make a list of all of your online and offline accounts. Type them or write them down, print the list out, and store it safely. Include usernames, account numbers, phone numbers, passwords, and website URLs. Use your primary identity for online banking, financial products, and credit card and bill pay systems. Do not use the same password for all of your critical accounts. If there's a breach, you want to limit the exposure to the other accounts. Critical account passwords should be long and complex. Like this example, they should contain a mix of symbols, numbers, and upper and lowercase letters. Most financially linked accounts now force you to create a strong password before being allowed to use their systems. When changing your password, look for the ability to use two-step authentication. This usually involves the use of a cell phone that receives text messages or the registration of additional information known only to you or a family member. Two-step authentication is something you know with something you have. It could be the year you fell off your bicycle or the color of your pet's eyes. If there's a data breach, the stolen information becomes somewhat useless without knowing or having access to the secondary authentication information. For places like retail or department stores and other non-critical accounts like Pinterest, Twitter, or Facebook, it may be wise to create and use a secondary email account through Yahoo, Gmail, or Hotmail for those services. Another way to keep your information, data, and identity safe is to make sure your computer is clean. Empty the browser caches and histories occasionally. Make sure your antivirus software is up to date. Only have one antivirus solution installed, and keep your operating system patched and install all of the recommended updates. Avoid installing and using multiple toolbar helpers. In modern browsers, searching is automatic through the address bar. You can choose which search engine your web browser should use. Never install or use any toolbar that claims it's going to speed up your computer. This is never the case, and you should disable any such toolbars or plugins if they are present. Keep your browser and computer safe by downloading helpers such as Silverlight and Flash only from Microsoft and Adobe directly. Avoid automatically presented options to upgrade from pop-up windows while browsing. Check your downloads folder periodically to see if there are any phony or unwanted installers. When entering account information online, always check for the lock in the address bar. Initiate a secure connection by typing https:// before typing the rest of the URL. If the connection to the other end is not encrypted, the lock will not appear, and you may get a warning from your browser telling you that your connection may be unsecure. Clicking on the lock will show you that the company is who they say they are and has been vetted by a third party. Companies are not allowed to certify their own authenticity. The most common method of identity theft is called phishing. It involves the use of email and text messages that incorporate web links that look real and encourage you to update information or change your password. Common phishing messages may look like they come from the IRS, a financial institution, a family or friend asking for money, or from a contact you know that includes a random web link as the content of the message. Good phishers employ a believable subdomain and domain. At first glance, this URL may look legitimate because it begins with HTTPS and contains both Wells Fargo and Secure Connect in the link. However, upon closer inspection, the order of the domain and subdomain are reversed, and the correct address would instead read like this one instead, with the Wells Fargo domain immediately preceding the .com portion of the address. Phishing email messages typically have RE: or FW: in the to field of the email header, or do not have your actual email address in the to field. Hovering over or previewing the from field will also illuminate the sender's return address. Hovering or previewing the embedded web link will show you where the link is actually going. If you accidentally click on the embedded URL, pay close attention to the address listed in the browser's address window. It will be clear that the destination is not what it should be had the message been from a legitimate source. There has been a lot of press about the credit card data breaches at retailers like Home Depot and Target. How can we combat this? RFID-enabled cards can be used at tap-to-pay terminals in lieu of a smartphone. It is rare to see these types of cards in the U.S. One problem with them is that the radio beacon can be electronically sniffed and hijacked by specially equipped phones or equipment. These cards should be stored in a foil-lined credit card sleeve or case. This affects the RFID cards with the little Wi-Fi fan printed on the front. In the U.S., the new chip-enabled cards and readers are being rolled out, albeit slowly. Similar to tap-to-pay systems, this method never transmits the card information over the wire, but instead creates a unique transaction code for each purchase based on a complex algorithm. In the old days, carbons could be stolen from the trash, or portable magnetic strip readers could be used to pull credit card numbers. Now, there are phony fronts on ATMs that are incredibly high-tech and include cameras that can record PIN entry in addition to getting the card data. What can you do to help avoid being a victim of credit card fraud? Use payment escrow services like PayPal, Apple Pay, or Google Wallet when purchasing things online. Or use the chip and dip or tap-to-pay methods available from your credit card or your smartphone. Shred documents that have account or social security information. Check your online and paper statements, particularly for small purchases that may seem normal. Hijackers will usually test out the stolen numbers at gas stations and drugstores before attempting to make their big purchases. If you think you've been hacked, skimmed, or financially violated, call the police and file a report. Vendors will tell you that you're not liable for unauthorized transactions, but it's best to be able to prove due diligence on your behalf. Then contact your credit card companies, banks, and other financially related vendors and one of the 3 credit bureaus. It goes without saying that you should have a good backup of your computer, tablet, or phone. That can be on a USB key, online via a service like Carbonite or other cloud-based services, a portable USB or a SATA hard drive, or even DVD-ROMs that you burn at home. It's a pain to have to use your backup to restore your computer, but on occasion it may be the only way to completely remove a serious infection or recover from a fatal hardware failure. Thanks for watching this presentation of Vogelsang Asset Management.